This evening, first, a massive fire sweeps through Peruni Landing, causing millions in damage. The Red Belly Hotel and several vehicles are destroyed in the terrifying blaze. We'll bring you the latest on the investigation and the aftermath. Plus, a Chinese businessman is fighting for his life after being shot multiple times outside his supermarket in Georgetown. Police are on the hunt for the gunman. What led to this brutal attack? Also, a member of the Guyana Fire Service faces cybercrime charges. Find out why Latoya Chu is in hot water after being accused of using a fake Facebook account to spread defamatory comments about her colleagues. And 50 vendors from Pleasance Market have a new vending area as construction on the 4-lane highway moves forward. How the government is ensuring that local businesses aren't left behind. Finally, Florida braces for yet another hurricane. Hurricane Milton is set to make landfall today, bringing intense winds and a dangerous storm surge. Stay tuned for more on this developing situation. These stories and more are right here on Headline News Update. Welcome to this broadcast of Channel 2's Headline News Update for October 9th, 2024. I am Baby Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. First up, a devastating fire swept through Peruni Landing earlier today, resulting in millions of dollars in losses as the Red Belly Hotel and several vehicles were destroyed in the inferno. Witnesses reported seeing a huge blaze engulfing the area, leading to widespread chaos as flames tore through the hotel and several vehicles. It quickly engulfed other structures, causing a massive explosion of fuel tanks and triggering further devastation. The fire's rapid spread caught residents off guard, creating a scene of destruction and panic. No injuries or fatalities have been reported at this time. However, the cause of the fire is currently under investigation. Still, many residents and business owners have been left in shock and uncertainty following the massive destruction of property and livelihoods. Headline News will bring you more details as they become available. A businessman is in serious condition after being shot multiple times outside his Georgetown establishment, with investigations ongoing. Malcolm Carter has more details.
A 50-year-old Chinese businessman Jai Keng Chen is in serious condition after being shot multiple times during the early hours of Tuesday. Shen, the owner of the First Choice Chinese supermarket on Durban Street, Georgetown, was attacked just after midnight while sitting in his gray Nissan motorcar outside the supermarket. According to police reports, a 26-year-old security guard who was on duty at the time overheard Shen arguing on his phone. Shortly after, he heard several loud explosions expected to be gunshots. The guard then saw the suspect flee the scene on a black motorcycle, heading west on Durban Street. Upon checking on Shen, the security guard found him covered in blood in the driver's seat. An iPhone was also located in the vehicle. He immediately contacted his boss Marvin Crawford, the owner of the guard service, to inform him of the incident. Crawford arrived shortly after and transported Shen to the Georgetown Public Hospital, where he is currently admitted in serious condition and slated to undergo surgery. Police processed the scene and discovered the suspect 9mm spent shells. Investigations are ongoing. Reporting for Headline News, Malcolm Carter.
Thanks, Malcolm. A female member of the Guyana Fire Service, Latoya Chu, has been placed on $350,000 bail after appearing in the Georgetown Magistrates Court to face 7 counts of cybercrime. The 29-year-old, who resides in Diamond Housing Scheme, is accused of using a computer system to spread false information that damaged the reputation of several fire service officials and an EMT. The alleged offenses occurred between February 23rd and February 26th of 2024, when Chu reportedly used a fake Facebook account to post defamatory comments. After an investigation prompted by a report to the Criminal Investigation Department, her mobile phone was confiscated, revealing the fake profile used for her posts. Chu pleaded not guilty to all charges, and bail was granted without objection from the prosecutor. She is set to return to court on November 18th for further proceedings. Stick around when we return. Businessman arrested for discharge of firearm in Georgetown, and 50 vendors allocated spaces at new Pleasance Market tarmac.
The Guyana Elections Commission GCOM is currently conducting a national registration exercise. Who can register? Anyone who will be 14 years or older by December 31st, 2024 and is a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, naturalization, or is a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more. How to apply for registration? You must visit the GCOM registration office that is responsible for the registration of persons from your area of residence to apply for registration or name change or correction. You must be in possession of the following source documents as might be relevant: original birth certificate or valid Guyana passport for new registration, original marriage certificate and original birth certificate in the case of a name change by way of marriage, original deed poll and original birth certificate in the case of a name change by deed poll, original naturalization certificate and original birth certificate in the case of naturalization. This registration exercise will end on November 29th, 2024. For further information, please contact GCOM on the following hotline numbers: 225-027729, 226-6557, 223-9650, or visit the GCOM website at www.gcom.org.gy.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for do a surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Sneakily with a gift of sight from Modern Optical Services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's best for your eyes. Our smiles make fashionable faces. See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern Optical Services, 316 Middle Street, Georgetown. Telephone 226-1082.
Welcome back. 50 vendors from Plaisance Market on the east coast of Demerara now have a new location to conduct their businesses. A new tarmac accommodating up to 69 stalls have been constructed to facilitate the vendors' relocation due to the ongoing 4-lane highway construction from Sheriff Street to Orange Nassau along the railway embankment. During an engagement on Tuesday, Minister of Public Works Bishop One Edgehill assured vendors that the government is committed to ensuring their livelihoods are not interrupted by development projects.
We are following up on a commitment made. And beyond a commitment made, we're following up on an agreement. Even though not written up and signed by everybody, but an agreement that we made with the community after they was on ease. We have done our part. We have gotten the tarmac.
He emphasized that while infrastructure expansion can cause inconveniences, efforts are being made to minimize disruptions. Vendors expressed gratitude for the new space, noting that improved layout and opportunity to continue their businesses seamlessly. The government has also installed 6 lights for security purposes on the tarmac, ensuring a safe environment for vendors and customers. We tell you now that a businessman was arrested for discharging a firearm near a bus park, with police recovering a weapon and ammunition. More from Malcolm Carter.
Michael Thomas, a 50-year-old businessman from Bachelor's Adventures, East Coast Demerara, was arrested on Monday night for discharging a loaded firearm. The incident occurred around 8:20 p.m. near the Route 404 minibus park in Georgetown. According to the police reports, officers on mobile patrol on Avenue of the Republic near Route 50 Burby's bus park heard a gunshot and quickly proceeded to the Route 404 bus park. Upon arrival, they observed Thomas attempting to conceal what appeared to be a firearm in his waistband. A search of Thomas revealed a .32 Taurus pistol along with 2 magazines containing 14 rounds of ammunition. Additionally, 1 spent shell was recovered at the scene. Police confirmed that Thomas is a licensed firearm holder. He was taken into custody and transported to Bricktown Police Station, where the firearm, spent shell, and ammunition were placed into separate evidence bags marked seal in his presence and sent for ballistic analysis. No injuries were spotted and investigations are ongoing. Reporting for Headline News, Malcolm Carter.
Thanks, Malcolm. A police operation in New Amsterdam, Berbice, led to the arrest of 30-year-old construction worker Kenota Simpson after cannabis and a stolen radio set were found in his residence. The police, acting on a tip-off, conducted a search at Simpson's home in Tukburg around 4 p.m. on Monday, October 7th. During a search, officers recovered a large plastic bag containing leaf season stamps suspected to be cannabis, to which Simpson admitted ownership. Further inspection revealed another bag with 60 smaller packets of suspected cannabis totaling just over 1 pound. Additionally, a police radio set and 2 camouflage shirts believed to be military attire were seized from the home. Simpson was taken into custody at the Central Police Station in Berbice, pending further investigation and potential charges. The radio set was confirmed to belong to the Ghana Police Force. Don't go away after the break. At least 3 killed as floods swamped Thailand's Chiang Mai. And U.S. support for Israel. President Biden under increasing pressure.
GCOM is currently conducting a national registration exercise. Who can register? Anyone who will be 14 years or older by December 31, 2024 and is a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, naturalization, or is a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more. It is the civic duty and legal responsibility of all persons who meet the eligibility requirements to apply for registration. By doing so, you will be ensuring that you are issued a national identification card and be included in the official lists of electors for future elections, providing you meet all eligibility criteria. This registration exercise will end on November 29, 2024. For further information, contact GCOM on 225-027729 or visit the website www.gcom.org.gy.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again. Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Sneakily with a gift of sight from Modern Optical Services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's best for your eyes. Common smiles make fashionable faces. See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern Optical Services, 316 Middle Street, Georgetown. Telephone 226-1082.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world. The U.S. state of Florida is bracing for its second hurricane in just 2 weeks. Hurricane Milton is moving towards Florida's Gulf Coast and is expected to make landfall today with intense winds and a life-threatening storm surge. Al Jazeera's Heidi Zucastro reports.
Free from the last Hurricane Helene that struck less than 2 weeks ago still litters this Tampa neighborhood. Workers are racing to remove it before Hurricane Milton arrives and turns these shards of damaged homes into projectiles. Milton is predicted to be the biggest storm to hit Tampa in 100 years, with winds likely topping 200 kilometers an hour when it makes landfall late Wednesday. Heather Rolston lives minutes from the bay. She and her family watched as Helene's floodwaters rose to her kitchen counter.
We got water up to about here, so our house is somewhat destroyed, but that's okay. We'll rebuild.
She says at least she hadn't started renovations yet. That makes leaving ahead of Milton a little less painful.
Will I have a house to come back to? Obviously, we prepped. Everything is off the floors, so hopefully it'll be salvageable.
All of this area is under a mandatory evacuation order, along with 1 million people across the Gulf Coast in the state of Florida. The highways out towards the coast were packed with people leaving in the opposite directions.
President Joe Biden approved an emergency declaration for the state and canceled a planned trip to Germany to wait out the storm.
If you're under evacuation orders, you should evacuate now. You should have already evacuated. It's a matter of life and death, and that's not hyperbole. It's a matter of life and death.
Rescue workers are especially concerned about an expected storm surge of 3.5 meters.
We will have, before landfall, 8,000 National Guard for the state of Florida that will be activated. We have already on hand 34 different search and rescue aircraft. We've never had this many resources prior to a storm.
People across Florida have become accustomed to filling sandbags to protect their homes from a growing number of intense hurricanes, fueled by record warm waters and climate change. Heidi Jo Castro, Al Jazeera, Tampa, Florida.
The northern Thai city of Chiang Mai is cleaning up after floods over the weekend. The waters are now receding, but cities for the south, including the capital Bangkok, are preparing flood defenses. Al Jazeera's Tony Cheng reports.
Elephants wade through the floods in Chiang Mai, ferrying residents who'd been stranded for days. Heavy rain and water released from swollen dams left parts of the city several meters underwater. Water levels are now dropping, revealing extensive damage. This elephant unable to escape, its handler inconsolable at the loss. Those waters are now heading south.
The Jalpia River is already incredibly swollen. The walkway's a metre underwater, and this isn't even the water from the north, which is expected in the next 24 to 48 hours.
The river's already burst its bank in places, flooding this community north of Bangkok. At this stage, just an inconvenience, but if the water levels continue to rise, it'll be completely engulfed. And there isn't much confidence in the authorities to hold back the waters.
Every time there's a flood, the Bangkok canals don't overflow. The authorities are able to prevent the flood going into Bangkok, but people along the river like us have to suffer.
At the local temple, sandbags are the last line of defence, but these won't hold back thousands of litres gushing down from the north. Some residents taking advantage of the floods, a chance to go fishing or just splash around in the murky water. Others peering out into a world that might soon be just like theirs. Tony Cheng, Al Jazeera, Nonthaburi, Central Thailand.
1 year of Israel's war on Gaza, and the U.S. remains Israel's biggest ally and the largest supplier of arms. Al Jazeera's White House correspondent Kimberly Hackett reports.
The moment Israel launched its counterattack against Hamas on October the 7th, there was little doubt about the allegiance of its ally, the United States.
I'm going to ask the United States Congress for an unprecedented support package for Israel's defense.
At almost $4 billion annually, the U.S. is the largest supplier of weapons to Israel. But in the past year, it's approved an additional $40 billion, mostly in military assistance. Much of that arsenal's been used to kill tens of thousands of people in Gaza, and now thousands more in Lebanon. Initially, a narrow majority of the American public supported Israel's war. But calls to cut military aid to Israel across college campuses and from within Biden's own party have been loud and widespread.
We will not back down. We will demand more of our president.
Yes. We are calling for an end to the violence, not a break in the violence.
Biden did pause one shipment of heavy munitions in May, but since then, his support for Israel has been unwavering.
Make no mistake, the United States is fully supportive of Israel.
But with the U.S. presidential election less than a month away, and as the Democratic Party attempts to hold on to the White House and the Senate, analysts argue any cuts to Israel's military aid now would be political suicide.
In the few weeks before the election, candidates are looking for any leverage they can get with any voting bloc and money group. No one wants to give the other side an undue advantage at all. And that provides Israel with a moment of maximum impunity.
Even as the possibility of a conflict between Israel and Iran increases, there's little chance the flow of weapons to Israel will change, regardless of who wins the presidency in November. Kimberly Helkett, Al Jazeera, the White House.
This brings us to the end of our regional and global news coverage. Up next is the 3-day weather forecast. And that's Safe TV2 Headline News for this Wednesday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to follow us on Facebook and YouTube. You can tune in tomorrow at 6:30 a.m. for a rebroadcast and at 7 p.m. for more news. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other.